Hello, everyone. Welcome to another It's a Tech Tip webinar. Today we have Ms. Kareen Balbier. She will be talking to us about creating movies with CanvaEDU, and her presentation is called Lights, Camera, Action. Go take it away, Ms. Kareen.
Canva EDU. Thanks, guys, for joining us. My name is Kareen Balbier. I'm an instructional technology specialist here in El Paso ISD. I'm also joined by my other instructional technology specialist colleagues. Thanks for hopping in, Jesus, RC, Julie, Cheryl, and Justin. There we go. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, and they will also be helping out by adding some links that you might need access to for today's session. Okay, I'm going to start with a video I created just for you to intro Lights, Camera, Action, Canva EDU. So today in our Lights, Camera, Action, Canva EDU session, we're going to be covering a lot. I'm going to try not to go too fast, but we tried to build in a couple supports that will allow you to tinker along with us. So be ready to grab a couple links from the chat. We're going to start off with just a really quick Canva EDU login and how to get to some video templates. We'll search let's start that again. We'll search for some intros and outros inside of Canva. We're going to be building a movie together. And so I do plan to help you name that project, go over some overview items like the elements, timeline, and thumbnails. We'll dig into collaboration because that's one of the best things about Canva EDU is you can have a group or team of students working on a video on multiple devices at the same time. We'll be working with video, photos, stickers, music. We'll be editing, like cropping, looking at picture-in-picture, and some of the features that we really liked in iMovie. But since we don't have access to iMovie on all of our devices, Canva EDU, of course, is a great add-in, but it also has a lot of additional features that we'll be exploring today. You can replace the background, which we used to use green screen for in other video editing tools. There is a way to work with layering and timing. We can upload our own videos and import audio and pictures. And so we'll be working with a lot of different editing effects in there. And we plan to build a story with you and then also take the time to share the video by creating a link or even downloading that video. So if you are involved in our EPISD Student Digital Film Festival, you're able to submit that video entry because, of course, we're excited to see the creations our students make. Okay, so with that, I am going to go ahead and have Julie in the chat. She's going to share a video template with you. And while she's doing that, I am going to just go over some of the basic things that you're going to want to know. First off, thanks for joining us and the Digital Learning and Resources Department. One of the first things that you're going to need to know if beginning to build a video inside of Canva EDU is how to log in. And in our district, it's really important that you start with your class link. And so I've added the link to class link. You want to look for the Canva EDU icon and click in. And this goes for your students as well. The best thing to do if someone has not used Canva EDU yet is to make sure you start there, and that will launch and authenticate your account. After, you can continue to go in through ClassLink, but you could also just go to canva.com and click on Continue with Google or Continue with Microsoft and use your EPISD credentials to take you in, and you'll have the same view. So I am going to take a moment and I'm going to ask you to just log into your Canva account. I'm going to point out 3 places that we're going to visit as our focus for today because we can do a lot of different things in Canva, but in 45 minutes, I'm just going to work on creating videos with you. So I'm going to spotlight 3 things really quick. On the top right side, when you log into your Canva EDU, you're going to notice that you belong to a team. It's either going to say personal, it might have the name of a school like Polk Elementary, or in my case, it says DLR, which is the name of my department. I want you to be aware of this because as students are working in teams, if they've all attended the same school for the entire time we've had Canva, there's only going to be one team there. But if, for example, last year they were at a middle school and this year they're in high school, they might need to drop down and just pay attention to make sure that they are in fact viewing their team as the current campus that they attend. And the same goes for you. The second thing I want to spotlight is video right over here and templates right over here. And then to do that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my view. And if you're looking to create videos in Canva, Canva already has some support set out for you to make this easy. One is when you look right at the intro, right, you're going to notice that there's a little spot here that says video, see all. And so this is one little spot that you can go in to click on to see what types of video templates are already available inside of Canva. And so if students were looking to maybe create a TikTok type video, you could click TikTok and it would take you to a view to begin building your TikTok video. Okay, I'm going to close out of that, or let's go back out. And so that's one way that you could go through and check out. And of course, there are some templates. The other way is to head on over. So instead of clicking video right here in the center, is head on over to the left-hand side to that icon that actually says templates. This is a nice place to kind of search around. And so when you're in templates, across the top, you're going to notice another little spot with video. And down here, you have the ability to browse by category. And so sometimes I like to start right here where it says videos, 1080p, because they can get more ideas as far as what's available. And then, of course, to be able to do some searching. And so here we have kind of toward the center, a filter already applied that I'm looking for videos inside of Canva. And you can do a search for specific things that you might want to add to a video. So of course, since I've already taken a look at these things, I do want you to know that under theme, I was looking to begin this movie with an intro. And so many times when students are creating a video, like for the film festival, it's nice to start with an intro. And I know in tools like iMovie, it already came built in with some type of intro that students could use. And so I do want to point this out because it's a good way to start if students are unsure of how to create their own intro to a movie. And so I wonder if we'll see the one that I introed for the movie that I created for you. Are you? You can see what this one said. Something completely different. And I turned it into, are you ready to create a movie with digital and learning resources? So you can start with an intro that's already created. I do also want you to know that you can search for maybe an outro being like maybe you're going to look for credits. And so if at the end of your movie, you're looking for some credits or something to end your movie, there are templates there for that as well. Okay. And so you can definitely search the thousands of templates for something specific if you're looking to do that. And then if you want to begin, let me go with intro one more time. You could definitely start here in a template to begin your movie. I'm just going to click on NEO1, a day in my life right here. If you want to preview a template, you'll simply click on it. Note that Canva usually gives you more like this. And so if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, good idea to click on it and see the suggestions that come along. If you do like this, say, video clip or this movie and you want to get started with it, all you would have to do is just click customize this template and it will begin a movie for you. What I've done though is before this session, I went ahead and created a template so that we would already have that video available so we can work on a little bit of editing. And so what I want for you to do is to click in the chat and grab the template link that Julie's going to place in there for you. And I'm going to make a copy of mine so that I don't manipulate this one. And then we're going to go through and actually create our own video. And if you want to search along for elements, I encourage you to search along for elements with me. And if you want to just use what we have built in, then you can most certainly do it. But I'll show you how to gather all of these items while creating a video. Next thing I want to do is make sure that I point out the important pieces in the workspace before I get going. Okay. I want to just make sure that you know where things are because I'm going to be pointing back to these different places. And afterwards, if we don't get to all of them, you'll know where to go. Top left-hand side, I just want you to note that there are menus, and one of the most powerful tools students love is the magical undo and redo button, because sometimes we make mistakes and we can bring things back or make them reappear. In the center, I just want you to know that video editing tools appear every single time you click on something inside of Canva. So if you click on a photo, editing tools will appear for a photo or a graphic or text. So they change depending on what you are working with. On the top right-hand side, this is going to be where we're going to change the title, where we're going to be working with some collaboration here in a moment, where we'll also go to download items. You're going to see on the left-hand side, up and down, this is where you'll have access to all of your Canva goodies. And again, I'll be referencing those as we move on. Looking on the bottom part of our Canva view, you're going to notice that I have a little arrow on the left-hand side for notes. This is a great spot for students to write what they plan to do on a video clip, or maybe if they're leaving off on something and they don't want to forget what to do the next time, they can open that up and jot down some notes. You see the timeline is available here. It's much like iMovie. You can do a secondary right click over clips to see more options for editing like split clip and so forth. But you can also pinch to drag to zoom in and just get a closer view of a clip. Far right-hand side, and the last little spot I just want to overview real quick is you'll have some tiny icons on the bottom right, and those are going to be just to share with you how long your video is, to switch back and forth between zooming in on your preview and then zooming in on your timeline. You're going to see the availability for you to utilize thumbnails and preview your video and even get some help. And so we'll be kind of going through those things today. Okay, so I'm hoping that by now you are in your template that we've created and you've made a copy and your video looks a little bit like my video. So let's get started. As I mentioned, we're going to take a minute to find each of these items, but I have them here in case you just want to watch and don't want to go through that action of actually finding it. So in between each of my video clips here, I can get a plus add page, or in this case, it's a clip. And I'm just going to add a blank clip because I want to share that on the left-hand side, one of our Canva goodies is a design. And so I'm going to click design. And in my search, I might add video intro because that's a design template that I'm looking for. And so when you do this, you're going to find that you can actually scroll through and locate a specific design that you're looking for. And for me, I did see it because it knew that that was the last one I used here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it to apply. And then you'll notice that it'll drop into that new page that I created. So that's one way that I was able to get that one clip in without searching, as I showed you at the start. Okay. All right. So let's work on editing this. Once you have a video clip in, you're going to notice that inside of the clip, it gives you a duration. This clip is meant to be 5.4 seconds long, and we're going to be creating a video about a bee. So I actually want to change this instead of a day in my life. In order to edit, you'll just double click on any text that you find inside of a Canva template, and you'll just type in like your title. I'm going to call this a day in the life of a bee. And so feel free to double click and name yours. And if you want to follow along with me, something that has to do with a crazy day for a bee would be great. The next thing we want to do is remember that anything that we click on inside of Canva is going to result in editing tools at the top. And so I can see that, you know, there's something in the way, or maybe I want to change colors, or I want to manipulate or remove this. I do want you to know that you can change the size, the color, the font in here. For myself, I'm going to move it out of the way, and I'm going to click on daily vlog and just delete that and move my day in the life of the bee maybe to be centered here. And I'm looking for the crosshairs to make sure that it's nice and centered on my video slide here. Okay. And of course, my background has nothing to do with a bee. In fact, I don't believe so. It might drown in that picture. So over here on the left-hand side, I want to choose to go to elements. And elements are where you're going to find pictures, videos, music, stickers, graphics, all of the goodies, okay? And of course, if you have a hand-drawn bee, you could also upload it. But in this case, I'm just going to search my elements for a bee. Actually, I'm not going to search for a bee. I want a video. So I'm going to look for bee and flowers. There we go. And across the top, you can see the different type of media that you can search for. And then scrolling down towards the bottom, I can also see a visual. So here are all of the graphics that have bees and flowers, videos, photos. Well, I actually want a video moving behind this, just like if I were to watch a video on a video site here. And maybe I'll go with this video right here. And the way you will apply it is just by clicking and dragging, or you can click on it. I like to click, drag, and then what you'll notice is there's a sweet spot that will take it as the background. All right, it's not working right now. So I'm just going to click and let go. Okay. But the way you can apply it to the background is just by using a secondary click, so two-finger click or right click. And you're going to see if you scroll down to the bottom, lots of great little goodies here, the word replace background. And so I'm going to click replace background, and you're going to see that now I have a background. I'm going to hit my space bar, just kind of preview it, of a day in the life of a bee, right? I do notice that it's a bit hard to read that text. So again, it's up to your students if they want to go ahead and change the color. But one of the tips that I like to share is that you can always grab additional elements to make title or text pop. And so what if I want to add maybe a rectangle right here behind this, again, I'm going to head back to elements. Let me clear out my bee and flower search, and I'm just going to type in rectangle. And it's great. It already knows that yellow is going to look good here. So I'm going to just resize this. And one of the things that I love about Canva is that you can actually work with layering. So right now I don't see it, but again, anything that you click on in Canva, when you look up at the top, the editing tools change. So you'll notice the color of my box changes. And the word position is going to help you get to the layers so that you can very quickly drag and drop items inside of Canva. So I'm going to click position here, and then you're going to notice it drops me over here on the left-hand side to arrange and layers. Well, layers is my favorite, but you could use the traditional backward or to back. But I'm going to go to layers because this shows me everything on the page. And what I can do is just do a quick drag and drop. So this really makes it more visual for our students, and they can see those layers being adjusted. And so I don't like where this little icon is here, so I'm going to simply drag it. So I really love CanvaEDU because I'm able to just move items around, and other video editing tools that I've used in the past, it kind of just stayed where it was, and I couldn't really move things around to make them look the way that I wanted them to look. Okay, so I just want to add one more little thing to this. Like, this bright yellow is really bright to me. Another thing that I really love about CanvaEDU is that you have the ability to adjust the transparency of the items that you add. So think about this for ghostly creations. If you have two videos, one that is actually being recorded and you want to add like a ghostly creature on top, you can make them transparent. And so I can also do that with this box. So I'm just going to make it a little bit transparent here. And I also like that I can even round the corners to give it a softer look. And so you're going to notice that there's just a lot of features if you just start tinkering around, where you can adjust and kind of make and give this the perfect look and feel for the movie that you've created. So I'm hoping by now you've had a moment to tinker with some of those things. So when we first got started, I told you that if you looked down here on the bottom, you could see how long the video clip was. It used to be 5.4 seconds, but when I changed that video, it of course adjusted to the duration of the video I placed in. So just like other video editing tools, if you take your cursor to the beginning or the end of a clip, you can trim. So I can do a little bit of dragging here, and I can make this 5 or 5.4 seconds long and let go. And it adjusts my text to also fit that video clip as well. All right, so let's add a couple more really awesome things to our video. If you head over to slide number 2, I just want to show you that, again, you can upload items into Canva, but you can definitely utilize the different items that are available in Canva. I'm going to skip to my last slide because I do want you to know that in our department, we highly emphasize giving our students that ability to create. So when we're talking about creating a movie, we always prefer that they use their own characters that they've illustrated. We always prefer that they are the actors, actresses in their films, and that they record their own videos. And sometimes that's not possible. Like I cannot get a volcano and put that into my movie. And so when needed, definitely use the elements inside of Canva. But always, I just want to stress it's important that we also use our student created elements. All right. If you're on, I'm going to guess that it may be clip number 2 at this point. I went ahead and did a search for a desert. So I'm going to model that because I do want to make sure that I'm sharing how I got these clips in case you want to use it as a template for your students. And that is again on the left-hand side. Whenever you're looking for video, photos, graphics, you're always going to hop into elements. And so I did a search for desert. And then I looked for a video. So here under videos, I went to the word see all. And then I looked for that video element and I was able to bring that in. Okay. So let me hop back over here. Remember, I want to practice. If I need this to take up the entire space of my video, I'm going to go to set as background. And then I'm going to need a little voiceover. And so how do you voice over inside of Canva? Well, the way you do that is by looking on the left-hand side for the word upload. I know that doesn't make sense, like you're looking for a record button, but actually everything is hidden deep inside of upload. So up here on the top, you're going to notice there's upload files, there's record yourself, and there's also image, videos, and audio. So if you head on over to audio, this is, of course, you can upload your files if you already have them created, or if you don't have them created and you want to record straight in, you would just simply click record yourself. Make sure that you allow the camera and the microphone. I realize that you're seeing myself in here and that might make you think that you're not recording audio, but you will. So I'm going to record really quick. It's looking pretty dry in this desert. I really hope that I find a flower. Okay, I'm just going to click the done button and then the save and edit. I skipped over some things that you can do in there, and so I will launch that one more time just to show you what happens if you record yourself while it's uploading. Okay, so when you're in here, you do have some nice little features that you can click around. I'm not going to talk about them because I'm looking at the time and I don't want to run out. If you click the settings, you're going to notice that you have the ability to just use your camera, to use your camera and screen. And so if you are screen recording anything, you can definitely do that. Or just record your screen. If you have additional cameras, this is where you'll drop down and choose another camera that you're working with or microphones if needed. Okay, so I'm going to hop out of that and exit the studio. Okay, while after I clicked save and exit, over here inside of videos, that video started uploading. Okay, so here it is. And I actually only want the audio. And so if you're on this view, you can definitely do this along with me. If you click my video that I added and you do the secondary click to it or the 3 dots, right? You're going to notice that there is on the very bottom extract audio. And so if you are not wanting your picture in there, you can definitely extract the audio. There we go. And you're going to notice the audio then appears on the bottom of your video clip. Okay. Moreover, if you didn't want to be inside of a bubble and you actually had your students record with the Chromebook, a nice little view out in the playground, you can actually remove the video from the bubble, or it's actually called a frame. Again, 3 dots. And one of the options here is to detach the video as well. So I'm going to detach the video, and that pulls the video outside of the frame, which also is an element your students may love if you want a picture in picture that they can search for frame. And let's try this one more time. We're going to search for frame, and you should find additional frames that might allow for a picture-in-picture if students are trying to create a different look and feel. So simply click, drag and drop, and then you can pull a picture in. So I'm going to go back to detach the video, and this is where I can delete it because it's not a part of my story. Delete the frame. It's not a part of my frame, but now I do have my audio in here. I'm just going to try it out really quick. I'm not sure if you'll hear it, but of course you can hit your space bar and try it as well.
It's a typical day in El Paso, Texas, and this little bee.
Were you able to hear it? Okay. So this little bee is looking around. So I did add a bee, and the way that you would add a bee, again, is making sure that you're in elements. I'm going to clear my frame search. I'm going to look for a bee. There we go. I went ahead and found a graphic here. So I'm going to click see all, and I looked for this bee, right? But I was actually looking for a full bee. Oops. And so underneath magic recommendations on the left-hand side, you'll see Canva was like, well, maybe you might like these other things. So I clicked see all, and this is where I was able to find this bee that looked like it would be flying over the desert. So that's how I got that bee. There we go. And any element that you bring in, of course, you can resize and you can move it around. And so what I want to do is I want to animate this bee so that it looks like it's flying through the desert. Because right now it's just kind of standing there. Okay. And so I want to show you some animation. I'm going to pull this bee down to the bottom just so that his little antenna are like peeking out. And what I'm going to do, remember, it's selected right now. So up at the top, my editing tools are going to deal with that bee. So I'm going to click on the word animate. And one of the new things that Canva has is to create an animation and allow you to drag it around wherever you want it to go. So I'm going to click create an animation. And I'm going to click my bee. Notice they have a bee too. And I'm just going to have my bee kind of like slowly fly right about here. Okay. And so you see there, my bee goes, it's starting to animate. And maybe I want to have some additional effects. I want you to know on the left-hand side, right now I have movement styles, and these are things that you're going to want to dig into on your own, the speed in which it moves, right? I also know that there's some add-on effects that I can add, and wiggle just seems to look really good with the bee. So I'm going to add wiggle, and then I'm going to hit my space bar and we'll check out how this animation looks. Or the play.
It's a typical day in El Paso, Texas, and this little bee is looking for something to eat. Do bees eat?
Okay. Any questions so far? I'm going to do a little bit of trimming here because that's definitely all I need. Oop, did I trim my bee away? There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to click on my little bee here really quick. What I do want you to know is that each element, right, you can show the timing of items that you're bringing in. And so if you didn't want this bee to appear for about 2 seconds, you could drag it so that maybe we're just seeing just the video before the bee appears.
It's a typical day in El Paso, Texas.
And so you can adjust the timing of each element and when it appears on the screen as well. Okay, I'm going to delete this one out. I'm going to move over to the next slide because I want to be able to show you how you can use green screen effect and how you can delete backgrounds as well. And so in this slide, I went ahead and searched up for a photo that was the desert. And then I looked for a video that was a nice little cactus blooming. And so again, if you're looking for these items, you would head on over to elements. There you go. And you would do a search. Because of time, I'm going to skip it. I'm seeing I have about 13 minutes, but just do a search and you can find these different elements, right? Or build along with me. And so I'm going to do what I was telling you about earlier is I'm going to take a moment and secondary click and set the background image here. I want you to know that if you double click on an image, it should, and this is going to work more for your TikTok videos, it should show you how much of the image would be off of that, let's say, slide. And so you can adjust it if needed in this case. Canva did a really great job of already placing the photo exactly where it should be. And so I just want you to know that just in case, again, you're taking a TikTok template and you're trying to adjust that photo. You can adjust a photo or a video. Okay. And then here I have a cactus, and maybe this cactus is miraculously blooming over here in the corner, but I don't really like that black video around it. And so one great thing that's built into CanvaEDU for our students and our teachers is a tool called BG Remover. And so if you are interested in taking out that background, that's all you have to do. Click BG Remover, and it's going to remove the background of that video for you. You can even do a little bit of cropping here. And there we have it. Inside of our sad looking desert is now a cactus that is blooming. Okay. Well, I definitely need my little bee to fly on over to that cactus. And so I am going to take a minute just to animate it. And I'm going to pull it off the screen a little bit, hop on over to animate, create my animation, and just send it on over. Super happy right over here. And then there we go. Maybe I didn't animate it. Did I animate it yet? Let's see. I didn't animate my bee. Okay, let's try that one more time. It was going to be amazing. Create animation, select and drag my element. Is it doing it? No. All right. Okay. It was having a moment, but it did it right now. I'm going to grab that little bee. I think you get the point, though. I'm going to move on because of time, but basically you can animate that bee to head over here. The big thing that I wanted you to know mostly was that we have a background remover capability, and I'm going to pull in something from my uploads under my images. If students are creating characters, like for example, Dogman, we can do the same thing by, let's see, removing the background of their characters and bringing that into a movie as well. So I'm going to just click remove background or BG remover. And then you'll see that I have a Dogman here. I'm going to do a little repair because he's see-through. And so if I click BG remover again, you're going to notice there is a little restore. And so I accidentally, I didn't know that I was going to make him see-through, but this is where you can do a little bit of repair, work if needed. I'm going to bring back his face, and I'm going to leave his hand see-through because of time, but that's where you can definitely work on that. So now we have Dogman inside of the movie. But again, students can still work on animating and creating a movement for their characters by the different built-in effects here. All right, I'm going to move on. And I feel like we created this one just to kind of share that you can also pull a video or record a video into a slide. And this is where if you have a moment, I'd like you to record yourself into this slide, because the whole thought is that we're in a park and we have a bench. So we'll practice removing the background of this bench. Julie mentioned that her favorite drink is a Diet Coke, or sorry, a Cherry Coke, not a Diet Coke, a Cherry Coke. So we could place the Cherry Coke on top of the table and then, of course, remove the background of Julie here. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to collaborate with Julie so she can work on this slide and make those changes, because one thing that's important to note is that you can also share any of your creations with another person and they can edit it. And it looks like, Julie, you can already edit it, but I'm still going to share it. I wonder if I can share the link with you. It's called A Day in the Life of a Bee, Julie. Oh, there she is. And so I see Julie's in here. And so rather than me demonstrate all over again that we can use the BG remover and start removing things, Julie's able to do that and move things around. And I can, on the side, add a note of maybe some different things that we're planning for or different elements that we want to bring in. Great job, Julie. And then I could also add notes in a comment for her as well. And so I'm going to just click on this park bench and I'm going to add a little note for her. No comments yet. add a comment. There we go. And then I can say this scene is great. I wonder if we should add an eagle. I don't know, right? And then Julie would also see that there is a comment there for her from me. And so we could do some collaboration, even if we're not working in the same time, at the same time, in the exact same place. Julie, I'm going to kick you out of your frame here. You keep working. I'm going to detach Julie because I want to show you how you can speed or zoom video up. And so we have Julie inside of this frame. And of course, I want to remove the background also because she's got to be in the park and we need to make this look real. So this is the green screen piece. While it's working right now, I'm hoping that it'll allow me to edit. But when you look up at the top again, whatever you've selected is what you're editing. And so right now it's removing the background. Let's see if we can remove the background and edit at the same time. Well, it's at 90%, so I should just be patient. All right, and I'll click edit. Let me pause here. Edit. Done. Let's try this one more time. Edit. Okay. When you click edit, because I clicked trim, on the left-hand side, this is where you should see that you have video speed down here on the bottom. So if I do want to speed Julie up 2 times or slow her down, she's moving very slowly in slow motion. You can adjust the speed for that slow-mo if you'd like. I'm going to leave her in a normal space here. You're going to notice the volume as well if you do want to turn that volume up too. I think, Julie, I'm going to extract the audio for this one, and I'm just going to delete your audio from it. So you're silent in this film here. Okay, I'm going to set this as your background. Okay, I'm going to move with layers here. Right now, I'd like to move this around or move the table. Again, one of the things that really helps students when they're adding little details is going back to that position and the layers. Because if you select an item, it's going to allow you to move it about. Sorry, Julie, I'm going to move your soda over here by clicking on soda. And so it makes it a little bit easier to move things around when you have layers, and Julie is looking great in this park here. I'm thinking that we've got most of our items. I'm going to just share that again. If you're looking for some additional editing features, because I didn't have enough time to get through everything, you can simply do a secondary click over one of your video clips. And this is where you're going to find some of the other things that you may wonder about if you've used other video editing tools, like your split a page. This would split your video clip if you needed to. How you can add a transition. You can also add transitions in between video clips. And so if you look at that little icon underneath the plus, that's where you can go to add a transition if you're looking for a transition. Right, so we'll color wipe it, even though it doesn't make sense here. You're going to see that you can duplicate pages. So if something is happening or there is a reoccurring scene, you can definitely duplicate that page and have something occur over and over again if needed. And so a lot of those video editing tools are in here. I do want to make sure that we take a minute to add some music. And so looking on the left-hand side, you would go back to the word elements if you wanted to add music, like Flight of the Bumblebee, or even if you look for bee, we found some really great bee noises, right? Here we go. We have a Flight of the Bumblebee. Maybe not what I was looking for. I think it was this one, Julie, that we liked. Maybe that wasn't the rock version, but we'll just take it, okay? So if you like it, I think it already pulled it in for me. So I'm going to take this music clip here and drag it to the very beginning of our song. I'll press play. Okay, there we go. Or let me just delete it and add it one more time. Put my playhead at the beginning, bring that one in. Okay, so again, every single thing you click on in Canva, you can adjust by looking at the top. Since I have the music selected, you're going to notice that I have the volume by clicking on volume. So if it is too loud, I can definitely turn that down or make it really loud if it needs to be. I can apply a fade. And so if you're looking for a fade, like in other video editing tools, you can definitely apply a fade in and a fade out if you wish. There's also something called beat sync. That would be if you're creating a type of reel, that might work out great for you. But you can definitely use those items as well. And just like any video clip, if you need, you can definitely do a secondary click and split the audio so that you can get rid of maybe music that you don't need. So you just have your intro and that music will stop. So we'll just give this a quick shot here.
It's a typical day in El Paso, Texas, and this little bee is looking for something to eat.
Okay, so I'll pause this up because, of course, there's more things to explore instead of CanvaEDU, but I wanted you to know that you can also bring in your credits. Inside of our EPISD Film Festival, of course, we believe adding the credits are going to be really important so that the judges know where the photos, where the videos came from. And so in this case, I did under design, do a search for credits. And then I was able to find this template. And so again, I clicked on the item that I wanted and just clicked a plus, the little plus sign to add it to my creation, and it dropped it in for me. Each of these items are frames, and so it is easy enough if you have your own video. Let me type in B here. I'm able to bring in video and just drag and replace. And of course, change different things like who's the director, that would be Mowa, and then who's the writer, that would be Julie. And to make the changes so that I can give credit for that movie. So I just want you to know that that exists. And then the last thing that is so important is how in the world do I save this and how do I get back to it? And so I'm just going to click home and share with you how do you get back to it and how do you save it and download it so you can submit it for the film festival. So left-hand side, there is a menu option, and I'm going to go home because at the end of the day, I hope that it saved everything. At the end of the day, you might need to go home and you can't finish working on everything in the exact same day that you started it. And so when you're at home, Canva usually has the recent designs. Let me swap my view here. And this would be the video that I was currently working on, or maybe it was this one. I'm going to just click on my recent designs and open this one up and see if this is it. It is not. So let me go back home and I'll click on this one. I think I was editing our template, Julie. And then this is how I would get back to my video. Up at the top, there is a little open in a new tab if you want to go full screen again. And then if you are ready to download and share, you want to definitely look over on the top right for the share button. And this is where you're going to find the ability to create links or download. Here, where we were collaborating and I added Julie as the editor, again, I can share it with my teacher if needed, right? And decide who's going to be able to edit or view. So Julie right now can edit, but we can definitely work on viewing or removing people there. And if you're wanting to download it, you're going to find the word download here. So I'll click download. We're going to suggest MP4, and that's what Canva suggests as well if you're going to download a video. You're going to notice quality here. You have the option of 480p. Don't recommend that. We recommend 1080p for our film festival, but you even have 4K as an option if needed as well. Inside of Canva, you can decide which pages. Right now, for me, the pages are every single clip, video clip that you see down here on the bottom. So I'm going to leave all of those checked off. I need them in my video. And when you're ready, you're just going to click the download button. And it does give you a little blip here. Videos using audio from our popular music library can only be used for professional and non-commercial purposes. We do have rules in our EPISD Film Festival about 30 seconds for audio usage as well. And so make sure that you do check the rules before you decide to apply an entire song and break copyright. So I'm going to go ahead and click the download button here, and it should be working on downloading my video to my computer so that I can upload and submit to our EPISD Student Digital Film Festival. I know that we covered a lot. I wanted to make sure that you understood that you can create video inside of Canva that is great quality, that you had lots of elements that you could choose from, and even text that you can overlay on top of your video. And so you get to decide where it goes, what color it is, what font it is, and it's all super exciting. You can definitely upload video into Canva or record it yourself. You can extract the audio and just use the audio if you need to voice over, and you can definitely upload your own audio as well. And much like other video editing tools, you can definitely edit, split, trim, adjust the speed inside of Canva to create a pretty phenomenal video. And I want to thank you guys for joining me for our Lights, Camera, Action Canva EDU session. And I hope you learned something new. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks a lot, Kareen. I do have a question because
Sure.
we're trying to have our filmmakers for our EPISD Film Festival use this amazing product to help them edit and create their products, their finished films. I love that the images are integrated, the music is integrated as well. I did notice that some of the music is popular music, some of the music is free commercial use music. Can you filter when you search for music? Can you add a filter to where it separates popular from commercial?
That is something that I have not tried. So let's search for B really quick. And let's hop over on the top. I'm going to look for audio so that I'm only looking at audio. And then I'm going to click this filter up here on the top right. And let's see if it allows us. There's free and pro.
There was something that I did see. If you go to one of the audio selections
Deal.
and then go to the three little dots next to the more button, go ahead and click on it, and it'll tell you what the usage is. So see how it says free for Canva Teams, and it does say popular music. I was looking at one that said it was free commercial use allowed. So depending on what it says when you click on those dots, if it has the little graduation cap, it does say free for Canva for education, commercial use allowed. So though it will tell you if you go to that space about the usage or copyright status of that particular audio selection.
Karen, can you click on the I really quickly?
This one right here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There we go.
So these tracks are for personal and internal commercial purposes. So again, when thinking about our EPISD Film Festival, we have a 30-second or 10% usage of the audio track. And so what I would recommend is in your credits, make sure you're crediting the name of the song that you used. And you're giving the credit. It's okay to say that you got it from CanvaEDU, but if it's a popular song like by Green Day, definitely cannot exceed that 10% rule. And you do need to make sure that you're crediting it. And so these things will still adhere to our rules. And so you definitely want to read the rules before applying music that you find inside of Canva. It's always safest if you're creating your own music or you're even uploading your own sound effects. But I just want you to know that this exists, and you can even upload copyright free music, but again, citing it at the end so the judges know where it came from. And you're also giving the artist credit is a very important part of creating a film for our EPISD Film Festival, and then doing this in an ethical way.
And that's very important to say because even with the YouTube audio library, which all of those soundtracks are commercial free, Creative Commons for the most part. I don't think I've seen anything that's popular to where it's going to require the 10% rule. But some of those, if you click on the creator's information, it might say you can use this, but I need you to say that it's mine, right? And I think we should always get into that habit no matter what, even if the creator of the sound or the track or whatever it is says, that's okay, use it wherever you want. I think we should always give credit because they took the time and did all the hard work in creating that image, that video, that piece of music, soundtrack, sound effect. We should always give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
Well, awesome, Kareen. Thank you so much for sharing. I know our teachers, our sponsors are going to be excited to see this. We're going to post this up on our website at tinyurl.com/DLR EPISD, and we'll hopefully have this over the weekend, get it done, and have it posted on Monday so that everyone who would love to learn how to create movies in CanvaEDU can do so. I know we talked about our district district. I don't know. I don't know if I call it a license or just agreement or what do we call this, Kareen?
We do have Canva EDU integration in EPISD, so all of our students and teachers have access for free. But again, non-commercial use, right? For the opportunities to create and design products to demonstrate our knowledge and our creativity.
Yes, and this product is free to educators, whether they're in EPISD or not, so they can
Yes.
have this license as well.
Right.
Having it for students, you definitely want to talk to your IT department and see how your I.T.S department or your DLR department, see how they can help, communicate with Canva to get the integration district-wide for not only for teachers and educators and staff, but also for our students who are the people that we really want to see or that we would love to see create with this amazing product.
Yeah, and with Canva EDU, our students do have access to a lot of paid content for free. If you were to create your own personal account, a lot of the items or like say background remover, those are paid features. So we're very thankful to Canva for providing the opportunity for our students to learn and have access to all of the content for free. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you do have a free account, you'll be limited in some of the different things that you can create. You can still create, but not everything will be as easy and seamless as I was able to make it today. But there's
Yes,
still a lot of
amazing.
great freebies. Yeah.
Yeah, there are, and so we are so thankful and grateful that we do have this product. And remember that we hold these sessions, these It's a Tech Tip webinars every Thursday. We hope to be bringing a lot more resources that we use in EPISD and that are for the most part free, and that many of our districts, our sister districts around the area and throughout the nation can use as well. So we want to thank you for joining us today on behalf of the Digital Learning Resources Department. And we hope you have a great evening, and we'll catch you in another session of It's a Tech Tip webinar. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.